Welcome. In today's episode, we're going to talk about insulated plasterboard, a convenient and cost-effective solution for optimizing insulation in your homes and its different applications. Let's start. Insulated plasterboard is a unique product that has the insulation built right into the plasterboard, saving us from any additional installation process. This not only saves us time, but also helps in cost cutting. Now you might be wondering, what exactly are insulating plasterboards? Well, they are a type of construction material that combines insulation and plasterboard into one product, usually made up of a layer of gypsum board fused with a layer of insulation. These plasterboards are a popular choice for new builds and renovation projects, for they help to improve the energy efficiency of a building, hence saving on energy costs. There are different insulation materials available, including foam-backed plasterboards like PIR, XPS and Phenolic. And while fiberglass and mineral wool are also options, they are less common than foam-backed plasterboard. In colder, wetter environments, foam insulation is a great choice as it offers high levels of thermal insulation and is resistant to humidity and moisture. In terms of costs, the price of insulated plasterboard is a lot less expensive than external wall insulation on a square metre basis, making it a great alternative for those who cannot afford to install EWS or their houses are not suitable, such as protected properties with listed status. Insulated plasterboard, or thermal-backed plasterboard as it's often called, offers many benefits over the standard two-part system. Some key advantages include saving on labour installation time, lowering energy costs, and acting as a vapour barrier. Firstly, the time saved during installation. Insulated plasterboards eliminate the need for separate insulation installation, reducing the labour and time required for the project. Next, they enhance the energy performance of a building by providing an extra layer of insulation, thereby increasing energy efficiency, leading to considerable energy cost savings over time. And lastly, these plasterboards function as a vapour barrier, reducing the chances of condensation forming within the wall cavity and causing structural damage. When using foil-backed insulated plasterboard, it's crucial to ensure that the vapour barrier remains unbroken along the joints. This can be achieved by butting the plasterboards close together and sealing them using mastic along the perimeter and joints where applicable. Now we are going to dive into the types of thermal plasterboards available in the UK. Let's go. First up, we have PIR plasterboard, short for polyisocyanurate. This is the most common type of insulating plasterboard, known for its fantastic thermal insulation properties. Two popular examples of PIR insulated plasterboards are Celotex PL4000 and Xtratherm Thin R thermal liner. Next, we have polystyrene-backed plasterboards. They come in two ranges, XPS, which stands for extruded polystyrene, and EPS, or expanded polystyrene. EPS insulated plasterboards are a great budget-friendly choice. They offer excellent thermal performance, high moisture resistance, and are also easy to install. There are a few methods you can use, from the dab and dot approach with drywall adhesive, attaching them to timber battens, screwing directly to the wall, or even the floating wall approach. Both adhesive bonding and mechanical fixing are valid methods, each with their own pros and cons. Adhesive bonding allows for more flexibility, while mechanical fixing is a safer option for walls with a risk of moisture penetration. But remember, installing insulated plasterboard needs to be done carefully. Always wear protective gear and work in a well-ventilated area. Secure the boards to the timber battens using screws at 300mm centres and 200mm centres around openings and external corners. The fixings should penetrate at least 25mm into the timber or 10mm into metal studding and be no less than 10mm in from the edge of the board. After attaching the insulated plasterboard, seal the gaps with PU expanding foam and then flexible sealant or an equivalent. Apply the sealant around any further joints and then either tape and joint the boards or skim the walls as appropriate. Now, if you're considering installing insulated plasterboard over battens, remember to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation to ensure the insulation is correctly installed and the vapour barrier remains continuous. This is crucial for preventing moisture from getting trapped in the wall cavity. When it comes to attaching insulation directly to walls, the method may vary depending on the type of wall construction. For example, if you're dealing with masonry walls, you can use special screws inserted into wall plugs. But because metal conducts cold, there's a risk of cold bridging, making it the least preferred method. For modern timber frame houses, where the main walls comprise a timber-panelled inner leaf, the insulation boards can be screwed directly through the plasterboard into the existing timber stud work. However, you must first put a new vapour barrier over the existing wall to guard against moisture penetrating the timber inner leaf. Next, let's talk about some important considerations before starting your insulation project. First up, radiators. It's possible that your insulation project may require you to remove and replace radiators. Here's how to do it safely. Turn off the water flow through the radiator by locating the metal cap on the left side and turning it off with an Allen key. Then screw down the grey part of the valve on the right side and set the thermostat valve to 0. Now you can unscrew the connection between the radiator and the valve. Just make sure you have a container handy to catch any water. When insulating the interior walls of a home, potential condensation is a serious concern. Without insulation, brick walls are relatively warm as they are in contact with the warm air inside the house. But adding insulation can make the brick walls inside colder, and if humidity or moisture is present, it can cause condensation. This can lead to the formation of water droplets behind the walls and potentially cause black mold along with structural damage to the house. To prevent condensation, it is vital to heat the space and ensure proper ventilation. Always ensure you have a continuous vapour barrier on the room side of the insulation. This can be the foil face on the plasterboard, but it has to be properly sealed at all the joints. Before we conclude today's video, let's go over some frequently asked questions about insulated plasterboard. Do I need a vapour barrier with insulated plasterboard? Well, this depends on the type of insulated plasterboard you are using and the specific requirements of the building regulations in your area. Some types of insulated plasterboards, such as those with foil-backed insulation, include a built-in vapour barrier. However, it's important to ensure that it is properly installed and that continuity is maintained at joints and around openings. Building regs may require a separate vapour barrier in certain conditions, so it is best to consult a professional or your local building officials to determine if a separate vapour barrier is necessary in your specific situation. Is it worth using insulated plasterboard? Insulated plasterboard can indeed be a worthwhile option for improving the energy efficiency of a building. It combines the functions of insulation and plasterboard into one product, which eliminates the need for a separate insulation installation process. Does insulated plasterboard cause damp? Insulated plasterboard itself does not cause dampness. However, if it's installed in an area where there is already damp or moisture present, it can trap the moisture and lead to mold growth, as well as transfer the dampness to the internal surface of the insulated plasterboard. Remember, it's not advised to dot and dab insulated plasterboard directly onto a non-cavity wall, such as a solid brick wall. Fix any damp issues before installing insulated plasterboard, ensure continuity of the vapour barrier at joints, and use a damp-proof membrane on any battens which are attached to the walls. In terms of resistance to moisture, XPS thermal boards are considered the best and should be used in conjunction with the above advice. Can you fix insulated plasterboard to existing plastered walls? Yes, it is possible to fix insulated plasterboard to existing plastered walls, but it depends on the condition of the existing plaster and the type of insulation being used. If the existing plaster is in good condition, the insulated plasterboard can be fixed directly to it using appropriate fixings and adhesive. However, if the existing plaster is cracked, flaking, or in poor condition, it is not advisable to use the dot and dab method. In this case, you would either have to remove all of the plaster back to brick so you can dot and dab, or use a mechanical fixing method like battening. Remember to follow all safety precautions and manufacturer's instructions when installing insulated plasterboard. Stay tuned for more how-to guides and insulation tips. For more information, visit our website. Link will be found in the description. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.